just like the human experience is like changes in the weather system. Sometimes it's stormy, sometimes it's sunny, sometimes we're bright, sometimes it's foggy. It's just the way things are. So these are impermanent and they're impersonal. Second quality to keep in mind. That is, they come completely unbidden. Like I said the first night, you don't say, I could go for some doubt right now. It just comes all on its own. How about some rage? Yeah, I could go for a bit of rage. It just comes all on its own. It gets triggered, and if you can know how to hold it and process it, it doesn't have to run you. So those two key understandings, impermanent and impersonal, give you a little bit of perspective from which you can work with these common difficulties. And these difficulties are also, the same principle in working with them is the principle in working with any difficult emotion. So I'd like to now share with you how to work with these. It's not the end of the talk. Okay, good luck, you got all these lousy mind states. See you next week. No, there's ways to work with all of these. Okay? The primary way that is really the essence of the meditation that we're learning here is to bring mindful attention to the experience. How does that work? Mindful attention means you see or experience clearly what is happening without wishing that it would change, trying to hold on, or getting caught in some kind of story about it, but to experience it directly as it is a very profound way to work with any mind state. And I'll explain this to you and give you an experience of it directly. When you have a strong emotion, any one of these five or any other strong emotion, there's a story in the mind, you know, oh, I really want that, or why did she do that, or whatever it is, oh, I can't do this, whatever of the hindrances. There's a story, including the story, I can't believe I'm stuck in this one again, another story. Okay. There is a feeling, a whole mental atmosphere. It might be tight, it might be heavy, it might be dark in there, it might be kind of yucky and messy in the mind. And there's also a physical expression of that emotion. It might be the heart racing, or the belly nodding, or the throat clenching, or whatever the manifestation of it is. Those are all happening. Next time you get a strong emotion, just check it out for yourself if you can remember. Those are all happening at the same time. Where do you think we usually stay when we get caught? Any idea of those three? In the story. You keep on pressing that replay button again and again. Yeah, she really did do that. You know, or, yeah, I really am stuck in this again. And there's no way out of that as you keep replaying the story. But if you can move from the story to the actual manifestation of that energy and explore it with interest, you are not feeding the story, and you're learning how to relate to this emotion in a very skillful way. The acronym, there's an acronym for a process that I'll take you through in a moment to learn how to do this. And the word is RAIN, R-A-I-N. First, we recognize, what is it that I'm feeling right now? And without hunting too much, you can just often come up with, oh, I'm feeling sad right now, or scared, or worried, or guilty, feeling guilt, or all the positive, or love, or joy, or whatever. You can use this with strong positive emotions too, but particularly with the hindrances, first to recognize it. And when you name it, you're actually jumping from the emotional center in the brain to the neocortex, which gets you out of that spinning your wheels. Oh, that's what's happening right now. Recognize. Next is allow or accept. I like allow better. Just allowing it to be here where you're not battling it shifts things tremendously because the battle just feeds it. Allow. The I is investigate. That is to really be curious and interested in how this is manifesting. And the N is non-identification, which is just a fancy word that means not taking it personally. Not thinking, oh, I'm so pathetic for having this fear or this doubt. It's just part of the human experience. So let me take you through a little exercise so you get a direct understanding of it. So you can close your eyes for a moment. And bring some situation or circumstance to mind that touches off some feelings. Just something for you to work with or play with. And if you don't necessarily go to the most intense thing going on in your life, although if that's what comes up, you can work with that too, but you might give yourself a little bit of slack as you're exploring this. So bring to mind this issue, and you might have an image that evokes the feeling. Let yourself connect with that feeling or precipitate that feeling so you have something to work with. Now first, recognize, what would you call this? Just silently. Give it a name. Oh, this is sadness, or this is wanting, or this is anger, whatever it is. And you're naming it in a very neutral way, in a very kind way, actually. Now, allow it to be here. That is, just give it permission for the next minute or so to be here. Here's your chance to become familiar in a wiser way with it, this old companion. Allow it to be here. And now investigate it. That is, where do you feel it? Where in your body do you feel it? What's the energy feel like? Is it in your chest or your belly or your throat or your face or through your arms? Or how do you feel it? How big an area is it? What's the shape? Is it like a golf ball or a beach ball? Or a different shape? What's the sensations like in there? Are they buzzing around or pulsing or throbbing or heavy, tight? Just check it out. Do they stay the same or do they change one moment to another? Then you might feel it in your mind for a few moments. What's it like in there? And let it be how it is. Is it tight? Is it heavy? Is it dark? Is it open? Light? Now come back to the body again. See what's here now. Might be like it was, it might have changed. Now, just be the awareness that's exploring this. There is this mind state, and there's an awareness of it. You're exploring this mind state doing its thing. Okay, now come back into your body and get grounded. Know that you're sitting here and breathing. Okay, and then when you'd like, you can gently open your eyes. Okay, now, I don't want to stir you up too much. Maybe you are stirred up, but I'll maybe shift the energy a little bit at the end. But it might not have been fun, but could you see, if you could feel it somewhere in your body, raise your hand. If it was at all interesting as you were exploring this, raise your hand. If it's interesting, that's different than being in a battle with it. Oh, it's yucky. But it's really, that's kind of curious. Anybody notice that it changed into something else? Not always, but it can. When you're paying attention, there's a fluidity of feelings. And even if it's difficult to be able to be there with it, the awareness of sadness isn't sad. The awareness of fear is not afraid. And so